Good morning, Lexington School family. My title today is entitled Keep Dreaming, inspired by the Hebrew text Genesis chapter 37, verses 3 to 11. February the 16th, 1963, in New York City, New York, unto us a legend was born. This legend would grow to play in the NBA for the Chicago Bulls, then later for the Washington Wizards, winning 6 NBA Finals Most Valuable Player, MVP awards, 10 scoring titles, 5 MVP awards, 10 All-NBA First Team designations, 9 All-Defensive First Team honors, 14 NBA All-Star Game selections, 3 All-Star Game MVP awards, 3 steal titles, and the 1988 NBA Defensive Player of the Year award. This particular person holds the NBA record for the highest career regular season scoring average and highest career playoff scoring average. In 1999, he was named the greatest North American athlete of the 20th century by ESPN and was second to Babe Ruth on the Associated Press list of athletes of the century. He is a 2-time inductee into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, having been enshrined in 2009 for his individual career, and then again in 2010 as part of the group induction of the 1992 United States Men's Olympic Basketball Team, better known to us as the Dream Team. He also has numerous endorsements, including the successful launch of Nike's Air Jordan sneakers in 1984, which are still popular across generations today. He has many additional accolades and became the first billionaire player in NBA history and currently owns the Charlotte Hornets. Some of you may know him as Magic Mike, Air Jordan, Your Airness, MJ, Jordan, or just simply Michael Jordan. Jordan was known to mesmerize and entertain people with his prolific scoring ability, to leap in the air making slam dunks from the free throw line. So this may come as a surprise to you that MJ was not always successful in basketball or any sports for that matter. When Jordan was in high school, he tried out for the varsity basketball team, but was cut due to the head coach describing his physical appearance as, get this, too short. Imagine that. After this huge disappointment, he became depressed because the thing he loved and dreamt of seemed nowhere in his reach. So he went on to college, probably feeling defeated. But just as dreams fueled by our passion goals, he did not allow his present failure to define his future. Once he arrived at the university, he tried out for the basketball team, and there is where his dreams morphed into reality. And standing at 6 foot 6 inches, a living legend was born. Jordan shared that no one helped him with his dream, that no one gave him a handout or even believed in his dream. But he didn't rely on anyone believing in his dream because it was his dream. On August 28th, 1973, a young reverend, one of the leaders of the civil rights movement and social justice warrior, by the name of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., gave a speech that we know now as the I Have a Dream speech, to call for racial equality and the end of discrimination, standing at the Lincoln Memorial during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. Now we honor and we celebrate this awesome and moving speech that was shared and still rings true in the lives of us today. However, some may not realize that Dr. King did not intend on sharing that speech that focused on his dream. Dr. King was a dynamic orator and preacher. And he had his original speech prepared and he read from his manuscript as he intended. However, there was a God moment that took place. There was this powerhouse gospel singer and one of Dr. King's favorite gospel singers in the house by the name of Mahalia Jackson. And it was evident by Miss Jackson's response that Dr. King had shared his dream with her. During Dr. King's speech, Miss Jackson sung out loud to Dr. King and said, "Tell them about the dream, Martin." Now, we don't know if he was trying to stay on track with what he planned to do, but Dr. King did not respond immediately. So Miss Jackson sung out again a little louder, and she said, "Tell them about the dream, Martin." And even as I talk about this now, the spirit that moved on Mahalia Jackson and Dr. King that very day, I feel moving on the inside of me right now. It was at that time that Dr. King slid his already prepared speech to the side, and the spirit of our living God took over. And in joining spirits with Dr. Vincent Harding, Dr. King began to ring aloud the dream he had for a nation that does not yet exist. That brings us to our sacred text on today, where we find that a young boy by the name of Joseph was the youngest of his siblings and beloved of his father because he was born of his father's old age. This young boy had a dream that one day he would rule over the kingdom and his brothers were going to bow down before him. This dream that could not allow him to rest. He first shared it with his brothers. Now, his brothers did not like the implication of them bowing down to him as a ruler. The brothers were already feeling, as the young people say nowadays, some type of way because of their father's overwhelming expression of love for Joseph and the gift of a coat of many colors. So you can suspect that his brothers, they were not taking his dream too well. They were not happy at all. And although his brothers rejected his dream, like MJ, Joseph kept dreaming. On this next occasion, Joseph shares his dream with both his brother and Israel, his father. You know, the one that loves him so much. However, contrary to what Joseph may have thought or how he may have thought he'd be received by his father, being the beloved, his father rebuked his beloved son at the mention or the thought of the whole family bowing down before him. I can only imagine that just like Jordan, Joseph may have felt a moment of defeat and discouragement. But also just like MJ and Dr. King, Joseph kept dreaming. I can imagine that Joseph kept dreaming when his brothers, full of envy, sold him into slavery. As Joseph sat in prison with two chiefs who also had dreams they were unable to interpret, I can imagine that Joseph kept dreaming. As the chef's dreams manifested into reality, the chef that was restored informed the Pharaoh of Joseph's ability to interpret dreams. I believe that Joseph still kept dreaming. As the chef's dreams manifested into reality, the chef that was restored informed the Pharaoh of Joseph's ability to interpret dreams. I believe Joseph kept dreaming. As Pharaoh designated Joseph as ruler over his house and all of the people, I believe that Joseph kept dreaming. As Joseph followed the instructions given to him by God, I believe that Joseph kept dreaming. As he was reunited with his family in a time of celebration and revelation, I believe that Joseph kept dreaming. I believe that if Joseph would have allowed the responses and the anger of his father and brothers to discourage him from dreaming, that the land would not have survived the famine. And although Joseph's dreams provided discomfort for his family, Joseph kept dreaming. What I'm trying to say here today is that as we continue to stand in the tensions, the turmoils, and the transitions of the church and our society as we know it today, I encourage us all in the spirit of Dr. King to keep dreaming. Though there may be some disappointments and discouraging moments along the way, I encourage you to keep dreaming. No matter what comes and no matter what goes, I implore you today to keep dreaming. Though the storms may rise and the winds may blow, though the breakers may dash and the billows may roll, keep dreaming until justice is just and equality and equity live and is sustained. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming for a church that does not yet exist. Keep dreaming for a nation that does not yet exist. Keep dreaming for a society that does not yet exist. Let freedom ring, and whatever you do, just keep dreaming. God bless you.